In the world of psychiatry, one of those factors that is associated with better mental health is an increased distress tolerance, meaning the people are more resilient to uncomfortable emotions. Now, some people misinterpret this. They hear this and they think that this means you suppress your emotions, or you ignore your emotions, or you distract yourself from your emotions so that you can tolerate negative emotions. But that's not what it means. Rather, what it means is that you learn how to accept negative emotions, or a better way to put it is learn how to be calm or be at peace or tranquil in the face of difficult emotions. Now, there's three main things that can help you to achieve this distress tolerance. The first of them is that when you have negative emotions, don't hide from them, don't run from them, try to process them. And the way to do that is to put them into words. See, when you put your emotions into words, your brain, in order to get your language processing centers involved, has to tone those emotions down. And it helps you to process them and think about them. So this could be something like journaling. This could be something like just venting to a friend. This could be something like prayer. This could be something like talk therapy, and so on and so forth. And this is a great place to start. However, this alone is usually not enough. The second thing that you can do is to cultivate additional emotions along with the primary one that you are feeling. So, for example, if you're feeling something negative, let's say someone just went through a breakup, right? And they're feeling terrible because of the breakup. Now, you also want to cultivate positive emotions along with this negative emotion. Now, one thing to be careful of here is that you're not gaslighting yourself. You're not trying to persuade yourself that it wasn't so bad and all this kind of thing. That's not what you're doing. All you're doing is recognizing the fact that with every situation, there will be positive emotions and there will also be negative emotions. Our brain has a bias towards the negative emotions. All we're doing is reminding ourselves of that balance so that we can overcome that bias. So for example, let's say someone just went through a breakup after a relationship that lasted 4 years, let's say, right? Let's say the first 3 of those 4 years were very good, very happy times. And then in the 4th year, things started becoming difficult and toxic and, fights and all this. And eventually that led to the breakup. Now, after the breakup, you'll be feeling terrible. Acknowledge that feeling, but also acknowledge that the first 3 years were good. Finally, the third thing that you need to do is to understand what that emotion is telling you. See, the purpose of emotions is that they give you information and they give you motivation, right? So for example, let's say you're feeling anger. What does that tell you? Maybe that tells you on the one level that you've been disrespected. Or maybe that tells you that your ego's been hurt. Maybe it points you towards an insecurity that you didn't realize you had, right? If someone said something and it touched a nerve, maybe there's some unresolved trauma there. Something is there that has been affected. It gives you information. And then maybe it can also tell you what you need to do. It gives you motivation. So for example, if someone's disrespecting you and it's making you angry, maybe you need to either confront them about it or maybe you need to leave that situation. Just an example. Another example could be you're feeling fear. What does that tell you? Again, it could be that you have your own unresolved trauma, which is why something is making you feel fear when it shouldn't. Or maybe that fear is justified and it's signaling to you that there is danger and you need to remove yourself from that situation or change it, so on and so forth. So the third step is to figure out what information that emotion is giving you and what it's telling you that you should do. So information and motivation.